Anyway, let me start. Let me begin by saying that I am also extremely happy that we are reunited virtually and to spend some time with you and your work, which is like a privilege for me. And and thank God for this program that they have invented at the American Society of Visual Arts. Thank all of that team who've been extremely helpful. And I think that Sylvia and I will occasionally sort of drop into Spanglish because it's our nature to do so. But I want the audience to know that this is one of the most remarkable women artists from Latin America that I have encountered. When I first met her, it was clear that nobody in Latin America knew of her work because she was in the ultra super avant-garde underground world of Soho and not in our sort of like circle of politicized activism that we were doing in the 60s, late 60s and early 70s. And so among the women artists from Latin America, she certainly has been a pivotal figure in getting herself immersed in the New York art world before anyone else. And later on, we'll talk more about that when we get to where your piece at the Guggenheim Museum. But can you tell us a little bit about that world that you were in, that whole loft scene with Trisha Brown and everybody,
Sure.
and how you actually got involved in that to begin with?
Yeah, to begin with, I did dance with Trish for, I think, a couple of years. And at the same time, we were very good friends. It wasn't like Trisha says, "Oh, let me go get a great dancer here." It was more like, "Sylvia, we're such good friends. Let's do stuff together. Let's dance together." And that's how we did it. And that lasted for a while. But soon enough, I decided to do my own stuff. I wanted to do different stuff. I didn't want to dance anymore. I had other crazy ideas like the one you're watching there.
Well, here we're looking at this remarkable image of you being a human slingshot,
right.
And it's kind of like a paraphrasing how you were, sort of lifting yourself off and getting that whole gravitational pull into some sort of celestial universe, which is that avant-garde in New York. And I can't remember where this was actually performed.
Yes, it was. It was.
Where was it?
It was in a place called Idea Warehouse. We were all using the same spaces to perform, and it was done in the Idea Warehouse. But all the pushing and all the actually jumping in those lines were done by other people. I mean, I did first, but then I conned them into doing it. And can you believe it?
I mean, you're literally being airborne. You're taking off, you're taking off in that world.
They went right.
And who knows where it's going to lead you, right?
No, I had like a set up bed in the back with soft stuff so that when they hit it, they didn't hurt themselves. But it was scary as hell. I'm telling you that. But it was at the same
But I mean, metaphorically speaking, who knew where you were going to go with that, right?
Exactly.
I mean, you're jumping into the world.
Yep.
Can we have the next slide, please? Yeah, and here is a drawing of that particular.
Yeah.
Your notebooks are also, I mean, I wish they could be published as little artist books because they're so precious, because they're sort of a complement to the actual work that is that you then stage either with yourself or with other people.
Yeah.
They're kind of like a little bit of a personal, to follow your mind. And it's very poetic, all of these little instances that you draw. And you kind of things by drawing, right?
Yes. And Carla, also, I don't know if I never gave you, and I apologize if I didn't give you the book, a book with some of my images. Half of the book was with my images that was done by by Bob Rauschenberg. In half of the book is my stuff, my drawings, and my crazy ideas, and the other half is Susan Wild. And they did publish this, and so some people do have the book, and they can see all this crazy stuff. Next time I see you, I'll give you one for sure. Okay?
I'd love to.
Okay.
I'd love to.
It's a beautiful. Oh, look at that. Okay, that one was.
And I actually, this next piece at Paper Coil, by the way, I love the titles that you choose. They're so like short and brief and to the point.
Yeah.
And they sort of describe what you're going to see, but they don't describe the actions that follow.
Right.
And so can you explain what exactly happened here? We see the audience looking at you.
Yes.
And you're coming out of this coil?
No, I tell you what happened is it's a coil that is in the floor when people are sitting there. And then a person comes, at the time it was me, and I get in the middle of it and I start turning and turning and turning, and the paper was surrounding me, first in my feet, then in my legs, then in my body, and then it went all over my head. And so it was a living paper coil. And then I walked out by just like, and with a kind of like a tail behind me, because the last piece was like a tail. It was quite amazing. It still is.
You may. Was there music to accompany it, or no? It was still silent.
Yeah, no.
I guess the noise of the paper was enough. No.
The noise of the paper was fantastic. Absolutely.
Where did you find a roll of paper like that?
Well, I work in that roll of paper. That is my loving. I wish I could show you. Look at this stuff back here. Maybe you can't see it, but I do. I draw in it. I sleep in it. This paper is kind of like, I wonder what they use that paper for. But it's just, Julie is sitting, he says it's just wrapping paper. But it's very
wrapping. Yeah, it's very thick wrapping paper.
And it's absolutely wonderful for everything. I use it constantly. Yeah.
And here we have the next work, which is titled
Cat's Cradle.
Cat's Cradle. Another wonderful title.
Yeah.
Why Cat's Cradle?
Well, because it was Cat's Cradle, what I did. You know, I did it as a child with my hands, with a string. And so looking at it, I said, why can I not change it into people? Each finger will be, a person will be each finger. And that's what you can see there. And so it was just like what people do in Cat's Cradle, except that it was done live with the people doing it, like you can see there. Put it over, under. It's a piece that I like very, very much. Yep.
Most of the work kind of develops from left to right or right to left, and frontally, right?
Right.
Yeah, because it's always like somebody's going across, most of the time yourself, across the stage to act out whatever it is that the object or the prop.
Right. What happens is because the work that I work is they're not really like performances, what the performers used to call performances, which are long ideas that continue and do this and do that and get sad and not sad. My idea, what I do is I have this idea, many times very crazy idea, but I present the idea and that is that. It's not anything else but that. So there, if I go from one side to the other, that is all there is. In most of my stuff, I just like that. Look at that. That is something.
I know there's always this element of either pulling or gravity or jumping, and the body is very involved in the gesture or the action that is being taken.
Yes.
And in this one, it's quite unique because for some reason, instead of going up a pyramid, they are helping you create the pyramid as you jump up and up and up and up and further up.
Very
It's
good.
like, what is she doing? Why don't they just put all those steps there already and you just kind of like walk up them, right? But no.
Jump off the pyramid. And you know, it's being done right now in Chile because they have this. I have this show in Santiago, and they actually did this piece, and this piece has not been shown in New York City. Everybody knows about jumping in the pyramid, but nobody has really seen it. And when I tried it, I would say 4 or 5 years ago, I don't think that the people were up to being so scared, because you do get scared going up the pyramid, you know, up. And finally, the first time I did it, Trisha looked at me. I'm practically touching.
I know.
Yeah.
I mean, and there's another piece of yours where you start with the steps of a ladder, step ladder, made out of newspapers. That if you would go up that step ladder, you'd like crash down. And then
there was nothing.
That's another piece that I really love that one. And then the ladder goes like, the step ladder goes like like this.
Yeah.
It sort of displaces itself.
There was nothing supporting it, so I went nowhere climbing up that ladder. But I loved it.
So shall we move on to the next slide there?
Yeah.
Or here's another one of pulling and gravity and
yeah, slingshot.
the title of this one I think is
slingshot.
It's slingshot again.
It's slingshot again. It's just that I have this.
Oh, this is just another image of slingshot that we saw at the beginning.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, okay. All right, so we can pass on because we talked about slingshot.
That's another one. Oh, this one.
Oh, sorry, they should have been together. Bye. I'm sorry. Never mind.
Okay. This one.
And then the next one is green bag.
And then I have.
And what's in the green bag? All these bodies, right?
The green bag is waiting for us, hanging really like a piece of meat or like a.
I know. You look like a bunch of dead animals.
Yes, and that's just because we had this. What are they called?
Harness.
The harnesses in the back, and so they pick us up. And they start moving very slow.
Across the space again.
Yeah,
it goes from right to left, right?
They put us into the bag, and the bag closes. And then the bag.
Next slide.
Amazing.
There we go.
How many people were there?
We had already going into the green bag.
Do you remember how many people were being fully?
10.
What?
And the person that helped me was Bernie Kirschenbaum. He just really did all these fabulous pieces, helping me with the idea of how to do them and which place. But this one was an idea warehouse too.
And the funny thing is, when you look at it this way, it seems like it's a huge bag full of garbage that's going to be thrown at something. You don't know there's bodies in there.
Exactly.
And then the next one that we have is the elephant trunk.
Oh yeah.
According to my list, and it seems that you use this piece a lot to begin and end performances with.
Yes, I do. I end up performances with.
It's almost like closing a curtain, and instead of closing a curtain,
and it's a perfect.
It is the elephant trunk that is being carried around to the other side.
The person walks through it fast, and by the time it's in the other wall, it's a perfect elephant trunk. And that's how I end up my pieces. It's a division. It's the end. I'm on the other side. You're watching.
Yeah, and I believe there's also some wonderful drawings of this particular performance. Next slide, please.
This is closing this performance somewhere else. But
here you can see again the trunk being moved around.
Yeah.
And then the next one is I think another one here. Okay, this is again.
This is
I
this was
I cannot see this too well.
It's their stairs. This is the stairs.
Oh yeah, there they are. There's the stairs, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This was done at Iliana Sonnabend in New York City.
Right. That's why I remember it because I saw it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That was an amazing.
Oh, in the 70s.
Yes.
Was in the 70s, right?
Absolutely.
When she was at 420 West Broadway.
Exactly. Yep. That's what I did it 2 nights. I think.
That was kind of the place to be, right?
Yes, that was
420.
Yeah, and they were so helpful and they wanted this so bad, so much, you know, it was just great.
What a terrific lady she
Oh,
was.
she was incredible. I loved her.
Fantastic.
Yes.
Whatever happened to her inventory?
I don't know.
Is there a foundation?
Is there one, Julie?
There's an estate.
There's an estate of her.
Ah.
What's his name?
I think it's run by Antonio, the guy
yes,
that's...
Antonio.
Antonio, you remember Antonio? We used to go have drinks with him
Yeah. Antonio was
and wait for the gossip. Who
wonderful.
was selling to whom and for how much?
Yeah.
And then following this, we have...
Picture of the stairs.
This is the picture of
Oh,
what
here
you
we
were
go.
talking about. Yeah. But I also had in the back, you can see a creature, a person.
this is like really too funny, you know?
Yeah.
You know you're going to fall.
Yeah,
Next slide, please.
but I didn't because it was going nowhere.
And then you're way up.
This one, I climb up the stairs, paper stairs, and then I lift the paper stairs, and it looks like I'm in the air.
I know, it looks like you're floating.
Yeah,
Again, there's this whole gravitational aspect. Yeah.
that's a very famous image because
But it's also one again that points towards you always wanting to go up,
right.
up,
Yeah.
up.
Oh,
And if not, you want to go sideways, up
levitation.
sideways.
Exactly.
Right.
That's just what that is.
Then the next one is those green hands.
Oh, okay, to my green hands.
Yeah,
That was
like,
also.
This is really, I have to tell you an anecdote. This is really very funny because I never saw the piece, but you gave me the photographs,
Okay.
black and white.
Okay.
And I printed them in Artes Visuales or the Leica journal, I can't remember.
Yeah.
And I always thought they were black. And when they appeared at the Hammer Museum, the Radical Women show, they were also black.
Judy, go get me the hand to show her.
I don't know, they were originally green. We never knew they were green. I mean, the Hammer did the same
This
thing.
one,
They
yeah.
built this whole thing with the hands being black.
Here we are.
Yeah, there they are. They're huge.
Completely.
Inflatable green hands. Are you still going around wearing those when you go shopping?
Can you imagine going shopping with those green hands?
Can you imagine? Excuse me.
Okay, look at
Yeah,
that.
so this was also reenacted at the Brooklyn Museum when the Radical Women came to the Brooklyn Museum. It's really one of the most iconic images in terms of it having been reproduced so widely, no?
Right. Yeah.
Wouldn't you agree? Yeah.
Yes, I absolutely agree with you.
And then the next one is another one that is really iconic, the cup and tails.
Well, no, this
Wait,
is
this
Or
is
his green hands, the green hands on the,
the bridge.
crossing the Brooklyn Bridge.
You did a first
With my hands, I
Oh,
crossed
yeah.
the Brooklyn Bridge. So there I
that must have caused an accident or two.
It was something. We did it very
And the weather, if I hope it wasn't too windy because the hands would take you off
Yes,
the
I
bridge.
was flying away. But it was very interesting to do it. We did it early in the morning because otherwise there were too many people crossing. So it was done at the right time. And they're beautiful images because they're not just the green hands, but New York in the back. And that is just spectacular.
Yeah, the scale, no?
It's
The
incredible.
scale is like really something. And it's interesting that this is like one color photograph because most of the photographs are black and white,
Right. Right.
interior shots, etc.
Mm-hmm.
So after the green hands, we get the other iconic piece, the cup and tails.
Oh, yeah. What is
I
that
think
picture?
it's good.
Oh, there we are.
Yeah, there you go. you've got this huge tail, this bushy tail.
Yeah. And then the cup.
And then you're maneuvering this little cup that is like steaming hot.
My idea was the smoke from the cup goes up like that, and my tail goes down the same color of the smoke. So it was.
Did it do that?
It was like an incredible arc, really, of the tail.
Yeah.
It was.
I don't remember there being an arc when you represented this in Brooklyn. Was that because maybe the tea wasn't hot enough?
I think that happens. Julie sometimes helps me with it.
It just doesn't behave. The
Yeah.
dry ice doesn't behave.
The dry eye, you have to just go with it. But sometimes it works really perfect. Yeah.
And how did you attach? Who attached the tail to you?
Oh my gosh. I did it myself. It's attached to my pants, and I feel like a complete ridiculous person putting those pants on with the.
Can you imagine standing there figuring out where to put your tail?
I know.
It's too funny. That's a performance in and of itself.
Yes, yes.
I've got my tail,
Yes, my tail in my cup.
and my tail can tell tales. A
Yes,
telltale tale.
absolutely. Yep.
And then there's these very poetic pieces with the tree that come next.
Yes. No.
Here's another telltale tale.
Yeah. Yeah.
Here's the tree. Here's the tree.
The tree. Right.
Tell us a little bit about the tree. What's your relationship to the tree?
Well, I wanted a tree to do what I did, what I was doing. In other words, the piece is called With a Tree, so that I was with a tree. And they made me this tree that moved around a little bit. They could manipulate the tree. And whatever my movements were, but this is not it. No, this picture is of something different. This is of a tree.
There's another one with a drawing.
That doesn't
that
end.
Maybe
Mm.
they can pull. Yeah, here. There's a draw.
This is a crunchy. Look at crunchy. This
And
is
so,
my
what are you
crunchy.
doing? You're carrying the tree across the stage?
Yes. But that's not me. I had somebody do it. But I think that they have another thing with the tree, right? With the.
Let's try the next slide. You
Yeah.
have to see that.
That's all the it is. This is the one I was telling you before.
Here it looks like you're being blessed by the tree
Yes.
or something.
No,
Some sort of
I was
ritual.
going down, and the tree goes down. When I sat, the tree sat. When I lay, the tree lay. It was my.
I see.
Me
I
and
see.
my tree. The two did the same stuff. Of course, at first.
It's like you're dancing with your tree.
Right.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it was
Brilliant idea.
Yeah, it was a very beautiful piece.
Many ritualistic based art should look at this one again.
Yeah, absolutely.
They'd be jealous, green with jealousy. And then we have the work with two poles. It's a good title because it really was a lot of work.
Yes.
The next one,
But
the work with the two poles.
I still had Bernie do this.
I mean,
Bernie got me everything so we were both started up on top of his poles, and he did it perfectly so that the two went down just like that, and we ended up touching the floor without bodies. It was a beautiful piece, very simple piece, but very beautiful. This one was
very minimalist, no?
Yeah, it was at the kitchen.
Very minimal.
It was done at the kitchen. The first one, yeah.
Boy, the kitchen when it was downtown.
Yes, at the time that it was downtown, right.
Yeah. I think it was in Tribeca, wasn't it? Or
It was on Broome Street. Yes, in Tribeca.
Yeah, Broome.
Yes.
No, actually, that was Soho.
Yeah. Yes. That
No,
was
it's Franklin Furnace. Franklin Furnace was in
Yeah.
Tribeca.
right. We had it all there, at the time. All this together there.
Tell me, did you ever fall in any of these gravitational pieces?
No, I have not fallen yet. Who knows? Who knows?
Thank God.
Yeah, but I haven't. I keep myself pretty, but I don't do those dangerous ones. I always put young kids to do it. And I just sat and watched.
I am wondering if, other than the green hands going outdoors, have you ever done anything outdoors, like in Central Park or someplace like that?
I know. I danced with Trish one time in Central Park, but I did do. Oh yeah, Origami Tango. But that is a piece that I have done recently in the last 2 or 3 years. But also I did one at the museum downtown. What downtown museum was it at the time? Not the Whitney, the museum. It's in one of the museums downtown. I did do it outside.
Aha, okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next one is the negatives. And,
oh yeah. What happened with the negatives?
I think, here. Yeah. Can you explain this? Because this is a very subtle piece in terms of the images.
No. Have you seen it? When you sit and watch it, it's not. It's a magical thing. I did the drawings in each of this fabric, very transparent fabric, and it's a picture actually of my father with his hat of the time and his pants and whatnot. And so the picture is in front of these people that are taking it and carrying them with them forward and backwards and to the side, to the other side. And I think that I say very magical.
It's like another dance, but with fabric.
Kind of, yeah.
Covering the body, covering the bodies.
Like 3 men carrying these banners that move different ways. The banners are very magical. Mm-hmm.
I see. And then there were some strings that they were throwing out, right? Colored strings.
No, it was but they were things, color cloths that were just very subtle, red, yellow, whatnot.
Is there another shot of this, or is this the only shot we have?
I don't know. The only shot.
Ah, okay. So let's move on to the Guggenheim then.
Okay. Yeah. The famous horse.
And I think that I'm going to read this little thing that you sent me.
Okay.
That there's another exhibition coming up.
Yes.
We don't have the date yet at the Guggenheim that brings together all of these artists from the 70s that were doing their performances in the Guggenheim.
Yes.
And this is the list of artists you were with. And again, it shows, your connection to the whole New York avant-garde. Bruce Nauman, Donald Judd, Meredith Monk, Gordon Matta Clark, Robert Morris, Robert Mapplethorpe, Joseph Beuys, Ana Mendieta, Carl Andre. What was Ana Mendieta doing? Did you ever see that? What she did there? Because I don't remember it.
She just did her performance in the wall performance. We didn't do it all together. I had 2 nights.
No, each one had their own slot. No?
Separate. So they're picking up people that did performances at the time in the Guggenheim. Yeah. And some of them.
This is it's great to know that they're bringing this back, because very few of us were able to see it. Very few of the audience are certainly younger people, next generations.
Yeah.
And so it'll be an opportunity to revisit. And you're going to stage the same piece that you did then?
No. What Nat Trotman did or wants to do and is doing is giving all of us together, I guess, in the same place, and each person has a wall or a space showing the part shows what they really did at the time, but not the performances. That for instance, it's going to have the neon horse and pictures of me and me and my whale, because I had an enormous whale too. So what he's doing is showing part of what these people all the time.
It would be great if they gave you the rotunda.
What?
They should give you the rotunda.
Well, they did give me the rotunda at the time. That's what I did. If you look at the pictures, I'm using.
More pictures.
I can.
I mean, it's just ideal for your work.
Yeah. Yes, it was
That
wonderful.
rotunda.
It was like a child's playing.
But so, what's this neon horsey doing?
The neon horse just crosses because it doesn't make any sense unless you see the whole performance, because the performance was called South, and it was actually, since I come from the south of Chile, part of my family, what I remember, the country, the horses, and then riding, communicating with them, so it wasn't just the horse just thrown like that.
So go to the next slide.
Okay, next slide. Oh, there is another picture of the
Next
yeah.
slide.
And there's me and the whale.
Next slide. There you go.
See, that's the whale.
That's the wheel. Yeah.
Yeah.
Huge
Whale.
You did a
Yeah.
drawing.
Yeah.
You should come to Mexico. You should come to Mexico, and I'll take you to Guayabitos in Nayarit, where the whales are being born. The mothers swim all the way.
I love it. I would love
Yeah, come on down.
Okay, I'll go down. Yeah.
So, you know what the little horse also made me think of?
What?
Made me think of Chile.
Yeah.
They have a native horse there.
Uh-huh.
I forget the name of it. A fellow Chilean woman artist, Eugenia Vargas Pereira, she used it when she represented Chile at the Venice Biennial about 10 or 12 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when I first found out that there was actually a native horse in Chile.
Oh. No, they do have them.
Yeah, very.
I just had my horse just crossing as part of all this remembrance, all this thing of my family, of the country where I.
That's what I thought. I thought about what's the town you were born in, Osorno, in the south of Chile,
Osorno. Yeah.
next to the volcanoes.
Have you been there?
Yeah.
You have, yeah.
No, I've never been there to Osorno. I've been to Chile several times, but not there.
Yeah. You go to Santiago.
And you were just in Chile, and I think in May you did a huge project with Jennifer McCall, who produced it.
No.
At the museum.
That is happening right now. She put all this together. She's an amazing woman. I mean, Jennifer is extraordinary.
Truly.
Unbelievable. And
I thought it had already opened, Sylvia.
It's open.
It hasn't opened.
It's open. And
It is.
I couldn't go before because of COVID. So now I'm coming at the end to close it. And I'm going to leave.
I see.
And
I
I'm
see.
taking 3 performances that they want to see. I'm taking the Green Hands, Cap and Tail, and with the 3 men, the negatives. I'm doing those 3 new ones.
Wow.
Added to all the other ones. That it's going to be an incredible performance.
And I mean, and Chile didn't know about you either. You know.
Yeah.
This is like a great project. I mean, how long did Jennifer work on this? I think like 2.5 years or 3.
Yeah, a long time. And she wrote that book too that you also participate in. Right?
I know the book.
Yeah.
I have the book. It's great.
Yes. No, she's unbelievable. So
Yeah.
I'm very excited. So I'm leaving the 6th to be there at the 7th. Then we're going to do some rehearsing, and then we do 1 performance. The next day, 2 performances, I think, because they still cannot put too many people inside of it.
And is that at the same museum where the show is?
Yes.
Oh, fantastic. Then people can see the show and go to the performance.
Absolutely. The show is
Yeah,
on.
great.
Right. The show is on.
So the next one that we're going to look at is the
It's also part. This is at
Origami Tango.
No, this is at the Guggenheim still there, but you can see.
Oh, we're
how,
still at the Guggenheim. Yeah,
you can
south,
see how
south.
I'm using all the layers at the
Yeah.
Guggenheim. Where I have words up on top, change of people's faces and stuff. Yeah, yeah. That's just the Guggenheim.
Fabulous.
One with the letter.
Were there a lot of people there?
Yes, there were tons of people. It was like the Beatles being doing that. There were people inside trying to come in. It was an unbelievable. Yeah.
We have to also bring you to Mexico.
Yeah, I haven't. I mean, I've been to Mexico, but I haven't been performing or into the arts in Mexico.
Never.
Right.
The next is going to be the letter.
Mm. So what's happening?
Yeah. So
Oh, there.
I mean, you came to New York with Enrique Castro Cid, fabulous artist himself. But before coming to New York, you stopped over in Mexico.
In Mexico, because his father was working for the Universal.
El Universal, mira.
Sí, trabajaba en el Universal y él, yo no sé, él escribía todos los fines de semana, hacía unos, qué sé yo, y nosotros estuvimos ahí recién.
And I was, at that time, I was writing for Excelsior.
Oh my God.
A daily newspaper.
Yeah.
and Jodorowsky was doing his Fábulas Pánicas in El Heraldo. And you met Jodorowsky, and I know Jodorowsky. And we never met at the time.
No. Can you believe this? This is incredible. We keep crossing, right? Yeah, unbelievable.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's kind of the same way that one's life is, no? These gravitational points and sort of. Yeah. But yeah, maybe we could find some place in Mexico.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of the Laboratorio Arte Alameda, or the other one, the Ex Teresa, which is an old. Both of them are convents.
Okay.
But they have these huge spaces that are just wonderful, and they both do a lot of performative work in those spaces.
Okay.
And I'm not sure who does the Ex Teresa Actual. Who's the curator at present? Anyway, the situation financially is really lousy, so right now is not the good time to poke the fire, but maybe a little later on. When the government changes, hopefully, whatever.
Yeah.
Everybody waits for governments to change, and then nothing changes.
I know.
So let's move on.
Okay.
To the origami, which is so cute.
The next one, this is still south. That's the envelope.
Can we go on?
Yeah, let's go on.
Oh, wait a second. We have the magazine here, which is turned upside down. Oh no, there it is. And you're part of the people that I put next to Horacio Zavala, who is one of the most politicized artists in Argentina. And then your piece is like really playful next to it. And it's actually a performance you did at the Sonnenbend again with the volcanoes. It's a beautiful piece.
Yeah, it was very cool.
And that magazine is like super, super cherished. I just had another person who's in this show, Elio Itzica from Brazil, who's in the American Society show. One of his buddies in Brazil who keeps working actually has a huge archive on Elio and spent time in New York during the 60s and early 70s also with Elio. And I was with him at the Carnegie Museum, and Lindsay Levansky did that show. And he's been in touch with me. He's doing another show, and he wants to include what I did in Laika with Elio, which went back and forth via London and Rio. And so we've been like discussing all of these things that in Laika are documented, which is, like way before anybody else documented any of the performative aspects of Latin American art, conceptual or politicized or whatever.
Right.
And you're there.
There
So
you go.
everybody was like really surprised. Like, who is this woman?
That was a surprise.
Where'd you
for
find
me.
her? And I said, I didn't find her. She exists. She's there in New York.
Right.
You can knock on her door, whatever.
No.
So on we go.
And we go.
Origami is
Origami. This is Origami Tango.
Here are the origami. They're so cute. And you did this with a collaboration with a Japanese artist.
Yes. It's Futalo.
Can you tell us what you did with these? You were all walking around like in a costume of a,
No,
what is it, a duck or something?
I had wanted to do some, I love origami in general, you know. I find it so elegant, so intriguing, so like real things. So finally I talked to Talo Kawasaki, who helped me build them huge so that a person could wear it. And that is what happened.
Yeah, this is the size of a human being, right?
Yes.
This one.
Actually, the human beings are inside of the rats. So it's a dance of these two origami. And I had
Where are these? Are they in your studio?
What?
Are they in your studio?
Are they in my studio? Yes.
These pieces?
Oh, no. This is in Vienna. This is in Vienna, what you're looking at right now.
Ah,
Oh, was it in Vienna?
and the next slide shows you more about the
Yes.
walking with it.
This was in Brooklyn at the park where they look spectacular because the people coming in the park,
Fabulous.
in between, in the back, in the couldn't believe
And what did the children say? What did the children do?
loved it. The children loved it, and it was it's
And are they dialoguing the two?
what?
Are they dialoguing these two origami pieces?
No, not dialoguing. What they're doing is they're doing movements because what they're dancing really is a tango.
Yes, sound.
So yeah, the sound.
There you go.
And they had sound, and it was done by a Chilean musician and artist that is called Diego.
Fabulous. So this is one of the rare occasions where you use music, sound,
Right.
right?
Well,
You know, tomorrow is Thanksgiving,
I
and
know.
they they seem to look a little like turkeys to me.
it was very appropriate for today.
I know, poor little turkeys are all like going out for. This is a turkey massacre day.
Yes.
Oh,
What are you doing tomorrow? Are you having some turkey?
oh, it's a completely non-Mexican non-event. You have to have some gringo friends that invite you to eat a slice of turkey with some cranberry and reminisce
Well,
about what the
that's
meaning,
that's what
what
we're
the
doing
fucking,
tomorrow. We are being very gringos here. Julie brought
yeah, what's the meaning of this anyway? And I'm quite a, cosmopolitan person. I'm not like, following a strict holidays of any country and any flag, to tell you the truth. So it may as well be another day, period.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Okay.
But and I mean, it's nice to get together with the family and the friends and
That's
all
what
of that,
we do. We have friends over.
especially after the pandemic, and there's lots of things to be thankful for. So,
Oh, listen.
but then
The next is that.
for instance, we're thankful to have this opportunity today. So,
Uh-huh.
The next slides are
gratitude and
stories of the
thankfulness.
family.
Okay.
Speaking of family.
And then it's a visit to the monkey and other childhood stories, which is so beautiful.
Yeah, that is an incredible thing. I will be doing it in New York soon again. It's drawings, many drawings that I did myself. That you can see the drawings. They're very strong. They're very real because it's my childhood. It's how I began to do performances when I was 7 or 6. up in the second floor of my parents' house and stuff like that. And then stories of my father. My father was a doctor in the south of Chile, a fabulous man who took us to see this monkey. And the story is very long, so I tell it to you whenever I see you, or whenever you come and see the piece. But it's a very strong thing, and people just really can feel it, can see it. And
Aha.
it's very funny.
Is
too.
there a film of it, or?
No, they showed my drawings, but large, huge, inside. And I by looking at the drawing, I tell them what is going on. This is what happened in this drawing. Here is my sister. Here is my brother. Here is my mother. Here's my
Next slide. So do the next one.
Do the next one and see what we get.
Well, that's actually quite appropriate for a.
Here I am. Here's my father with the monkey in his hand, because the monkey grabbed his finger and wouldn't let him go. And he went like that. I mean, the story is fabulous. And here I am in the back with my sister and my brother. And
Wow.
and I
Are they all still alive? Your father,
no,
mother? No.
My father died quite a
Well, that's actually a nice way to remember them,
Yes,
no?
absolutely. It's how I,
Now
think
I'm,
of them.
having Thanksgiving tomorrow.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
Yeah.
And then we get a whole series of paintings and works on paper that are
This is
actually.
this is
Also the performance.
a performance. This is performance again. That's another drawing, large, that they put enormous drawings. Of course, they're just this size, but I make them enormous. And that is me showing how I jumped from a third floor of a friend of mine in the south of Chile with an umbrella, pretending that it was a parachute. And
In a parachute.
I thought it was a parachute, but the umbrella was going to be down just like a parachute, but it didn't, So I fell over some school dogs.
Wow.
I mean, the stories are endless and ridiculous, and it's funny, and I survived, but it was a terrible experience. Yeah.
And are there more stories
Oh yeah.
in the slideshow here today, or no?
That's it with that. Oh,
No. Here we go with the wheel.
This was done in Warsaw. For the Museum of Modern Art in Warsaw. They were having a show of everything was going to be with whales and sirens. It was the sirens that they wanted. So they asked me that everything I did had to be like a fish or a siren. So I decided that I was going to take New York City to Warsaw as a siren. And so maybe it's a more shows.
Yeah, the next.
Can we go to the next one and then you'll see what happens? That is the Statue of Liberty.
Can we move to the next slide, please?
No.
No, I'm sorry. There was only that one.
Yeah. Okay. So that was the only one. But this drawing here, I'm looking at it right over there. You know what? I think when we get together in New York, and I'll bring you to my house and I'll show you all this.
There's so much work. And let's flip through the paintings and works on paper, because they're sort of more of a
Yes, I have
traditional format.
I love to draw, and I have been doing it all along. And I have now making look.
The next one is
Look at this is over there.
and
Yeah.
the next one is a floor drawing.
And the next one is the what?
Floor.
Oh, I think Julie put some floor drawings in it. I'm doing floor drawings now.
Next.
But so, what are you planning to do with these paintings and drawings? Are they going to be shown?
I hope so. I want to show them. I mean, they're very unbelievable.
That's
Yeah,
Society.
probably I'll show all this at the American Society in the big show, because they're unbelievable drawings that they have to be looked at from the top, so that you.
This looks more like a working drawing for something else.
No, it's a drawing, and if you look in the bottom there are also images in little drawings of my, that I remember ideas, things that get together with another idea. It's,
Aha.
yeah.
The next
So
part.
you kind of work out all your ideas by drawing, right?
Yes, drawing for me is,
So it's a perfect way to actually stop our chat and see if there's any.
One more you want.
yes, one more, says Julie. One more image.
Here's 5. Next 5.
One more. I was wondering if we could switch to seeing if the audience has any questions.
If what? If the audience? Oh yeah.
So it's
If the
4.
audience has any
Yeah.
questions, because I can't write here so intense
Okay.
that I can't read some of the questions that pass by. But I am sure that American Society, Sophia, or one of them have a way of telling us what the questions are, so we can answer them to the audience.
Yes. Hi, Carla. Hi, Sylvia. How are you?
I'm okay.
Hi.
Julie,
So, everyone's just commenting how lovely the talk has been. And I did have a question for Sylvia.
okay.
How was your experience arriving at New York?
In the 60s,
Yes, as it relates to the show.
you can imagine I left Chile when I was, I think, 19 or 20, or I got married in I came to, first we went to stop in Mexico with my husband, and then immediately we came to New York City, and I didn't speak a word of English. Not that I speak too much now either. But it's, it was hard, but nevertheless, I think New York really opened their arms to me. And everything happened fast and wonderful. And I met incredible people and people to work with and to do unbelievable stuff. So this, I feel extremely comfortable in this country.
Yeah, it seems that Sylvia came here at the right time, the right place.
I think so. You said it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some people, they get there and it's the wrong place for them,
Right. No, for me,
But-
it was unbelievable. Everything happened. Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
It met the right people for the right reasons, and it was unbelievable. Yeah. And then, of course, I married Bob at the end of the 60s. So then.
And do you have any plans to maybe spend some time in Chile? Do you have any nostalgia would you like to live there for a while, or no? You're fine in New York.
I'm fine in New York. I mean, I bet I love it. I want to go visit. I haven't been all that many times in Chile, really. I know that other people come from Chile here, and Chile pulls them back, and they want to go back, and they want to. I don't know, maybe Chile pushes me away. No, I doubt it. But the thing is, I have been in this country for so long that it is my country too, But Chile, I love it when I go there. My daughter loves Chile. My granddaughter loves Chile. And they consider themselves part Chileans too,
Here we have another question from Cecilia Fajardo Gil.
Okay.
What are your plans for the future, particularly regarding performance? I guess that Guggenheim show, right?
But also, I'm doing new. Look, this thing in the back here is a performance. So I continue having ideas, and I absolutely will end up doing a lot of new performances and new stuff. I keep adding to the body that I do. In fact, the one thing that I can do that is different that I know from other people that do performances is I can add stuff in one performance, because what I show are instant images and ideas, and they come and they go, and they come and they go, and that's it. And so.
And excuse me for interrupting, what you're going to be performing at the closure of your show in Chile.
Yeah.
Are those new pieces?
No, I'm taking the hands, top and tail, in what are the ones?
Jump up the pyramid.
Oh, jumping. Well, no, and what they're doing there is they're doing stuff that I haven't seen for many, many years, like jumping up the pyramid, and they're fabulous doing it. They're unbelievable. Those people in Chile are incredible. They're marvelous, incredible. And so I'm very, very excited to go there very soon now. 2 weeks, that's it. I'm there.
Fabulous. Fabulous. I wish you all the success in the world, and I hope that we'll see each other in the flesh really soon.
Okay, Carla.
As soon as I'm able to get back to the United States and to New York. And meanwhile, keep on working and keep on doing those wonderful drawings and the notebooks. And keep me posted on where we're going with
I
it.
will absolutely keep you posted. Not just that, I think we have to get together and I can show you stuff that I would feel very happy to
And I promise I'll talk to a couple of the people here at the Exteresa in the Laboratorio,
Okay.
Alameda, and see if we can't get something off the ground here
Good.
before too long.
Okay. I know what you mean.
I know. I mean, the clock is ticking. Let's get it doing.
I got a couple of more years, a few more years. Yeah, no, I would love it. And you know, doing it in
I'm going to say goodbye because our time has come.
Okay. I love you.
Do the bye-byes.
It's a pleasure to have this talk.
Besos, besos.
I love you.
Cariños, cariños. También a Julie, Bob.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye bye, sweetie. Love you.
Bye.
Bye bye. Bye to
Love you,
everyone.
love you.